That Canucks Golden Knights game last night had such a playoff feel to it. The constant back and forth momentum shifts, the relentless physical play to even the chants from the crowd. What a game that was last night. And there were so many milestones. I mean, Garland was playing his 400th NHL game. JT Miller had shirts made for the guys in the dressing room because of that, which is just awesome. But then Garland goes out and scores two massive goals, one of which being his 100th career goal and the other one being the game winner. And JT Miller's primary assist on Garland's game winner ends up being his 100th point of the season, the first time he's hit that mark in his career. The milestones were flying like Oprah handing out cars in Canuckland yesterday. My favorite, though, was definitely Brock Besser hitting the 40-goal plateau for the first time in his career. A few minutes prior, Vegas had taken the lead off a power play goal by Noah Hannafin, and from that point on, you just felt that it would be huge for the Canucks if they could tie the game before the end of the period. As Besser cuts to the middle of the ice, he takes a quick peek and sees that there's a nice juicy lane for him to get the puck through and some friendly traffic in front for him. Instead of just trying to get it through with a one-leg snapshot, he completely turns his body to get a more powerful shot off, and even though that gave the two Vegas players more time to plug the lane, he still gets it through with a nice snipe. Look, Canuck fans love their players and they know them very well. They remember the Calder Trophy-esque rookie season that Besser was having before he was derailed by that injury that absolutely could have resulted in a 40-goal season had that not happened. And then the seasons after that where the goals weren't as easy to come by for Brock, and how he was never quite able to match that high goal scoring output from his rookie season. Plus you add in the rumors from last year about him possibly being on his way out of Vancouver. That definitely made this 40-goal season way more special, not just for him but for the fans as well. And they gave him a really nice, long, loud cheer. Given all the ups and downs Besser's had with this team, I feel like the fans knew what that goal meant. And that's what's so cool about this. He's the first Canuck to hit 40 goals since Daniel Sedin and Ryan Kessler in 2010-11. And it's pretty full circle because even though he played with the Sedins for one season, Besser was like the first face of this new era of Canucks hockey. He was the first big glimmer of hope that people could look to and be like, okay, once the Sedins are gone, this is a guy we can build around. Before Pettersson, before Quinn Hughes, before JT Miller, number 6 was there. So for him to be the first 40-goal scorer on the team since the Sedins were in their heyday, Henrik was feeding Daniel, felt like we were getting a Daniel Sedin highlight reel goal every night. That's pretty cool. Also, I did not remember that Ryan Kessler scored 41 with the Canucks. God, that guy was a beast that year. As usual, give me your thoughts in the comments. If you want more Canucks content, let me know down there as well. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.
Thanks. Ugh. We got a lot to react to.
Going into last night's action, Nathan MacKinnon was 3 points behind Kucherov for the league lead. Kucherov went and got 3 assists against Columbus, widening that gap to 6. The question then became, okay, what's MacKinnon going to do against Minnesota here? You had a feeling he was going to have a game, but this was just ridiculous. The dude gets the puck here, and I know this Minnesota defenseman is flat-footed, and Bogosian is trying to keep up with MacKinnon while also playing the 2-on-1, but still, man, the pure speed to just burst through everything. And it's honestly nuts how money he is in a situation like this one-on-one with the goalie. You almost know for sure that he's going to score, no matter where he puts the puck. So that was number 49 for him. He's approaching 50. He's definitely going to get it, but question is he going to get it tonight? Watch this. I love this play so much. Drouin gets the puck at center ice on the logo. He sees MacKinnon swinging through, and they've got that chemistry, so a beautiful little drop to him right in full stride. That allows him to catch both Minnesota defenders flat-footed. Middleton does a decent job recovering and almost takes it away, but just not quick enough for MacKinnon, which, don't worry Middleton, almost no one on the planet is. What a gorgeous way for MacKinnon to get number 50 for the first time in his career, which honestly is pretty surprising given how much of a beast he's been since 2017-18. And instead of the crazy eyes we're used to from him, a nice little smile from MacKinnon after that one. Wasn't over though. MacKinnon gets the puck inside of his own blue line. Poor Jacob Middleton. This is like asking a human being to race against a thoroughbred. Come on. All he can do is try to get his stick into his back, into his gut, just absolutely anything to impede the shot. But like we talked about before, he's money in these situations. Puts it just under the bar with what seems like no effort. Watching that type of performance as a hockey fan, I don't know if you can ask for much better, honestly. That was such a treat, and I don't think it was blacked out. Like, I had it on TV. Maybe you guys can let me know if you're able to watch that one. And the absolute explosion of hats onto the ice after MacKinnon scored. The Denverites there. I mean, look, the Broncos are always going to be king in Denver. Even when it was Russell Wilson in Broncos country, let's ride. You guys must be happy he's not there anymore. But it's clear that that city absolutely adores their Avs. And honestly, it's become such a great hockey town. I'll always miss the Nordiques and always be wishing and praying that they come back, no matter how unrealistic that might be. But I think it's really cool how much of a hockey town Denver's become.
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams I hope get an NHL team. Like Houston. Houston needs a team. Houston needs a team. We need a rival, the great rivalry of Texas, and we also need the great rivalry of the Ohioan cities. And And we need a team in Atlanta.
Now Nathan
Can't
McKinnon
say
and
that
multiple Stanley
enough.
Cups will do that. But even beyond that, it's a really good, strong fan base. McKinnon is now only 2 points back of Kucherov for the league lead. I mean, dude, if 10 years ago, when Jamie Benn won the Art Ross with 87 points, if you would have told me that second place in the NHL in points would have 133, I would have asked you if the goalie position has been abolished, if they were playing with empty nets. It's crazy how much offense we're getting in the NHL nowadays. But hey, I'm not complaining, especially when we get performances like that from McKinnon last night. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For more Avs content, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. You're awesome.
Send by you guys if you like this content or just NHL in general. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and leave me a nice comment.
Videos about the Arizona.
Oh, we're talking about Arizona now. Alrighty, guys. If you're an Arizona Coyotes fan, you might get offended, so I might say something that might offend you if you're a Coyotes fan. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let's just watch this.
I've kind of tried to stay away from making videos about the Arizona relocation stuff for the past year, mostly because it's been pretty confusing to figure out what could or could not be happening with this team and when, but it seems like we're going to get some kind of conclusion or at least some answers coming up here, and it's really heating up. This morning, Frank Saravalli reported that there were basically two scenarios for the Coyotes franchise going forward. There's that auction on June 27th, and either the Coyotes are going to stay in Arizona and basically grind it out until that new arena, most likely in Phoenix, is ready in about the fall of 2027, and the other situation is them moving to Salt Lake City. And this morning on the Jeff Merrick show, Elliot Friedman mentioned that if it is Utah, I think we're going to know soon, might even be sooner than people thought. Then the official Arizona Coyotes Twitter page posted a
before he says the Coyotes tweeted out or X'd out. I don't know what it's called anymore. It was Twitter, then Elon Musk just changed it to X for no reason. Like A, B, C, D, like a letter, just a letter. That's like if Instagram just called it I, or if YouTube just called it Y. It's like if Snapchat just said, hey, we're gonna make it S. Or if TikTok made it T. Like, seriously. Anyway. This, I don't think they're good. Salt Lake City is going to get a NHL team. I don't want it to be Salt Lake City. To all those Salt Lake City fans, do they even have a sports team? Like, seriously.
tweet accompanied with a video saying that they are committed to keeping Coyotes hockey in the desert and building an arena in Phoenix. Not even 2 hours after that tweet, we got a bombshell report that the NHL and the Coyotes are preparing for a possibility of a move to Utah as soon as April 18th, just over a week away. Now, a few extremely interesting tidbits from the Sportsnet and ESPN articles reporting on this. While several sources warned to be careful about making any absolute proclamations because there's a lot that needs to be done, this whole situation is apparently a major priority and a lot is being done to get it to the finish line. Now, if this is to be done, Ryan Smith, who is the face of the management group trying to bring a team to Utah, he will supposedly pay $1.2 billion to purchase the Coyotes franchise from Alex Morello. Now, get this is kind of wild. Those same sources are stating that Morello could be offered a 5-year exclusive window to, quote, bring back the Coyotes as an expansion franchise, which honestly isn't surprising. I mean, Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the U.S. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if the NHL circles back to them if they get their arena stuff sorted in 3, 4, 5 years. But for right now, it seems like this possible relocation is really being sped up because of two things. First, the NHL's skepticism about the Coyotes' newest plan to build an arena in Phoenix, which would obviously include Morello winning the land auction in June, and the possibility of the Coyotes playing 3 more full seasons at the Mullet but in waiting for that arena to be built, I think that scares the NHL. Also, there's no direct correlation here, but it's kind of wild how on this day in 2011, the Thrashers played their final NHL game, and today we get this bombshell report. The Coyotes' final game of the season is next Wednesday against Edmonton at home. With all this stuff coming out today, you gotta
the
wonder
Coyotes
if
are
that's gonna
moving
be
to
Arizona. Also,
Salt
imagine
Lake
being a
City,
player for this team
baby.
right now with
We're
like
getting an
Jonathan
NHL
Blair,
team in
players possibly
Utah.
being informed of a quote-unquote verbal agreement in place to relocate to Salt Lake City, but Saravalli mentioned that there's been some pushback on that. I don't think they're completely in the dark, or at least I hope not for them and their family's sake. I'd like to think that they're much more in the loop than us in the public and the media, but this is a huge development. Although it's very important to be clear that a deal is not done. Things are really, really heating up here, but it's not 100% complete. I feel like that's important to mention because a lot of people are already dancing on the grave of the Coyotes. Me personally, you guys know where I'm at. I'd love to see a team in Houston and in Quebec City, but if Salt Lake City does end up getting this team, I'm interested to see how it works over there. I mean, I've heard whispers throughout the year that, hey, the league really doesn't want to keep the Coyotes at the Mullet Arena for too long. We could be seeing a relocation sooner rather than later, but if this were to happen as early as next season, that's wild. Oh boy, the comments on this one are going to be really interesting. I'll be down there reading. Give me your thoughts on this. And if the team does move, what do you think the name in Utah, Salt Lake City is going to be? If this does end up happening, somebody's going to be right. My guess is the Utah Yeti. If you want more update videos on this situation, like
I
the
can't
video,
wait
I'll see you in the
to-
next one. You're awesome.
What if the Salt Lake City team was called the Salt Lake City Coyotes? Not the worst name.